All right, welcome to the pod. This is a special women's episode, a Wednesday episode. We've got the one and only DiDi Richards, 60,000+ followers on TikTok, more on Instagram, killing the Twitter game prior to your arrival at Baylor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So when Baylor got the number 2 seed, is that when you knew that the fix was in?
No, I mean, I should have known, huh? I mean, I should have been the first hint right there. That should have been the giveaway. But no, I was just excited that we even got that far, that we even had a tournament, we even had a selection show this year. So I guess I'm going to see. This was my mom always said, go with the woman's intuition. I should have known.
Yeah, the gut. That's when I thought to myself, like, I don't know about this. You should have been a 1 seed for sure.
It got crazy whenever we played UConn and they started treating UConn like that, like they were the underdogs. I'm like, what? They're the 1 seed, we're the 2 seed. How? Like, what sense does that make? You know?
And that just shows you who the real 1 seed is.
I'm not saying that.
I know. So another thing that was some tomfoolery was that late game no call.
Mm-hmm.
Take me through on your end what it's like to be on that side at that stage, a call like that or a no call like that.
It's really, so like when it happened, you know, I'm sitting on the bench, not even sitting, I'm literally standing the entire time and I'm looking because, you know, at the end of the day, I knew they were going to foul because we had been getting beat up all game. And I don't know how many times I told the refs throughout the game, like, yo, we're not getting the same calls inside. And I just kept telling them our whole game is played inside out. So how are we not getting calls? Like y'all are whistle happy, but y'all aren't calling, you know, the right calls. And they just kept telling me it's the flow of the game. It's all that stuff. So getting to the end of the game and having that happen to us wasn't even shocking because I have been complaining about it all game, but it's sick to know that it was like your season was put at the hands of refs, you know? I just hate that. I hate that for our season and our team because I think we had a really good chance of going pretty far.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm curious whether because you guys are so physical that the fact that you guys set the tone in that physicality makes it harder for the ref to want to blow that whistle.
I can definitely see that. Even being in the Big 12, I feel like we got the short end of the stick because we were Baylor and because we play so rough. So I can honestly see that being the problem. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make it right. And that kind of makes it, you know, more wrong that you can see it happening. But because if we end up shooting 100 free throws a game, we end up shooting 100 free throws a game. But that's our game. And you can't take that away from us, you know?
Yeah, you're built that way for a reason.
Right. Exactly.
I loved Coach Mulkey after the game saying like, I'm not even going to give you a quote. What did you see? And print that in your article.
Period.
Then coming with the receipts.
Seriously, because she had the phone, flipped the phone, took the mask off. It was very, I feel like when you have media, I feel like they should give you time to cool down. I think they call her at the peak of her anger, honestly.
Was there no space between the end of the game and that presser?
Oh, no, ma'am. We literally had a team huddle. She went and talked to her coaches for like maybe 3-5 minutes. And then they took her and they to media. So I definitely think they got the short end of the stick. They got the angrier Kim. At the end of the day, it's on Kim's time. She goes where she wants to go. But I think she was so ready to talk to somebody. She sped through. She told us what we needed to hear, told us that we're going to leave tonight or that night. And that she was like, let's go, Kyle. Let's go, DiDi. Let's go to media. And we're like, okay.
Wow. That's crazy. She was like, let's get this out. Let's let them see it.
Definitely.
Dave said if you don't get injured, you guys win by 10. I think that was a big momentum shifter, right? They went on a 19-0 run. Did you anticipate when you went down that it would change the momentum in that way or that much?
I definitely did not anticipate that. You know, being we're a great team. We're on a great team, so you kind of expect them to hold it down, to say the least. But it's that's like losing Alyssa Smith or losing Dejanay Carrington. I think if any of us would have went down, it would have been a game changer. And I think that's when you start to realize how much you rely on one another. Like you're everyone's the strongest, their weakest link. And once a big link comes out, it's kind of like that's what happens. I mean, it was crazy to watch. I definitely looked down for a second, looked up, and we were only up by 2. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? So it was scary.
From the bench, could you feel it?
The run happening?
Yeah, can you feel that shift?
I didn't feel nothing. I didn't see nothing because I was literally trying to get wrapped up. I was getting stretched. They were trying to figure out if there was a knot or if they could feel anything in my hamstring. And I literally looked up and it was 55-53, looked back down to get wrapped and we were down by 2. And I'm like, okay, we got to move faster. And I said, this is happening quicker than I expected or that anybody expected,? So I don't know. It was pretty crazy. It's still shocking. As soon as I got home, I watched the game like 4 times.
Wow. Were you like, hey, I got to get out there faster. Like help me out.
Definitely. I was trying to figure out it because with a hamstring, he just kept telling me there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. I'm like, just stabilize it for now. Like, because every time I would run, I could feel it kind of jump or whatever. And that feeling, that's what made it almost impossible to go back out there is the fact that every time I extended my leg, and you know how many times you extend your leg when you run in a game or when you try to play defense. So I'm like, there's no way I can go back out there. But I was hoping that they just needed kind of my presence to feel kind of safer. And I was just hoping that I could just be out there. But I was doing more damage than helping at that point.
Yeah. Did you watch the Arizona-UConn game?
I did.
What was that like?
That watching the rest of the tournament was, kind of like a dagger in the heart. I'm happy for the teams that got there that made it to the Final Four or whatever. And I'm happy for Stanford winning, but I know that we should have been there. It was one of those to where I'm like, it's fun watching, but I'm kind of bitter at home. And so it was, I turn it on, turn it off. I turn it on, turn it off. So I watched it on and off, watched the 4th quarter for sure. It was a good game. I'm hats off to Ari. She's a hooper.
Big hooper.
I'm most in awe at her height. Like I am her height, her swag, because at that height, people are going to doubt you. And she is continuously making people believers.
She has a bag. Her bag is deep. She's quick.
It's so sick being that small and being able to finish around the rim the way she does. That's so crazy to me.
And the way that she creates space with her pivot foot going around. She did that, I think, a few times last night where she got separation from those girls who were 6'3",
right.
6'4", and still got her shot off, and they were shook. She's really, really good. Did you know that 8 out of the 10 trending athletes this year were women? 8 out of 10?
I did not know that.
So you guys are becoming, the women's athletes are becoming bigger brands than the men's side in March Madness.
I believe it.
Why do you think that is? What do you think has changed? I mean, you've got a pretty big social following right now as it is.
I really feel like there's no more dominant team. And that's what made the men's game so much fun to watch. There would be a 16 seed beating a 1 seed one day. It's stuff like that made the men's game so much fun to watch. Now, not everybody is trying to go to a UConn. You have Caitlin Clark at Iowa, making a name for Iowa, as well as Megan Gustafson. It's just little things like that where you now have women that are trying to make a name for themselves on their own and put on for their own state or do what they want and go where they want. Not everyone's trying to go to the UConns, the Baylors, the Marylands, the South Carolinas, or the Notre Dames. Everyone's trying to, do their own thing and be that man. And that's what made the men's game so much fun to watch is that they have so many players that are willing to sacrifice their sacrifice wins in order to get numbers. And I think that's what makes the women's game so much fun to watch now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the relatability, the parity and the relatability is huge. Being able to show your own personality on your own social. And I just think there's a lot of excitement around the women's game. When you see it on ESPN primetime, that feels really, really good. And I think that trickles down to a degree to the social media presence as well.
Definitely. It's also the fact that there's so many different styles in the women's game. You have me with my puffs. You have Aaliyah Edwards with her braids, and then you have the different way people wear their tights or lashes and nails. I think it's so many different things you can do to kind of personalize. It's like having a Jeep. Like having a Jeep. You can personalize it in so many different ways to make it look so different, and then you make it your own. And people love to see how different we all are.
Tell me about nails in season versus nails out of season.
Do you see out of season nails?
I see them. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way she's got the rock anytime soon right now.
I'm telling you, I'm taking like a week off maybe. And so I was like, my nail tech, I came back to Houston and I went to him and I'm like, I want them as long as possible. I'm not touching a ball for a week due to my hamstring. So that's just what I've been doing. But in-season nails, they're not that far off though. My in-season nails are pretty long too. It draws a lot of attention online, evidently. So they're pretty long. They're longer than most.
That's interesting. Was that an adjustment?
Definitely an adjustment, but it was something that had to be done. I don't think you understand when you get action shots back. And that your hand is like man hands on the ball. Like it just bothered me. I was like, how can you tell the difference between me and Jared Butler if you were to see us on a picture and just saw our hands? I'm like, I need to be noticed that I am a female and I'm DiDi Richards. I want you to know that DiDi Richards always has nails.
Is that becoming a part of your brand? Like, is that going to translate over to the pro side too?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely nails and lashes. I don't know about the hair yet. I don't know what route I'm going to go with the hair next level, but definitely nails and lashes. I think that's something that's a given.
Somebody asked me about this. A guy obviously asked me like, why would women wear lash extensions on the court? And I was like, man, it's tough putting on makeup just to play. So if you have lashes on at least, and maybe a little bit of like BB cream, at least you still feel feminine.
Yes. So I just heard about BB cream, y'all, literally the day, like UConn game. And I'm like, I gotta go buy some. And now I'm still go buy some, but I didn't know that was a thing. I wasn't wearing makeup in the games. I just have on my lashes and I do my eyebrows and I put some gloss on.
Right.
And I'm like looking at all these girls on TV. I'm like, how does their skin look so smooth on camera? And someone told me BB cream. So I can't wait to try BB cream.
It's a game changer and it doesn't mess up your face at all. So yeah, no, it's really interesting because it's not a flattering, jerseys aren't that flattering anyway.
Oh.
And then you've got sports bras and the short size. And it's like, man, I really do want to differentiate and stay feeling feminine while I'm balling.
Exactly. That's my next buy.
What is your take on I know you like to eat good food, Mexican food's your thing, right? What was your take? What was your take when you got that first meal box in the bubble?
And it's the simple fact that we were spoiled, I think I'm not speaking on every team. I'm saying Baylor, we were so spoiled coming into the bubble. We were eating so good, like steakhouses all the time. And then we get to quarantine in the bubble and it's like, I don't even know what it was, unfortunately. I just looked at it and I was like, who's going to eat that? But like respectfully, I meant that in a respectful manner. It's just that we were so spoiled. I just was just like, I'm not eating that. But luckily, our coaches, this was crazy. Our coaches know us so well. So who's in charge of that is this lady named Jordan Westbrook. And she calls all of us just literally the night before we leave for San Antonio. And she's like, y'all need to go to the grocery store. And y'all need to get y'all some things that should last y'all throughout the whole bubble. Because the option they're giving us to give y'all for food, none of y'all are going to eat. And I'm not trying to hear y'all's mouth. So sure enough, we all brought whole duffels of Uncrustables, sandwich meat, sandwich bread, ramen noodles, ravioli, Chef Boyardee's. We just stacked up to where everyone was complaining about food. And we were just like, y'all should have had y'all's duffel bag.
Hate to see it. Couldn't be us. Could not be us. Couldn't. I mean, the fact that you even got to the bubble at all, I would say is you personally is probably the story of the year, right? You've gone, you're going to win an ESPY. That's facts. That's facts. You've talked a lot at length about your story and your recovery. But I'm really curious more so about the mental side of the comeback versus just the physical side.
Oh, yeah.
Especially given the fact that you're one of the most, you're defensive player of the year. So taking a charge that's in your bag. First charge back after the recovery. Take me through that. How are you thinking about sliding over and putting your body on the line after that?
I mean, it was a huge obstacle for me to kind of even look at. So now I'm on the court practicing with my teammates. I'm at this point, I'm practicing with our dream team, which is our guys. And I'm just like, these are men. And if a girl hit me like that and it messed me up, how is it going to be when they hit me? So I think anybody can tell you, when I practiced the first day, I was really timid. I was, going away from bodies. Any screen, I wouldn't hit it. And I think I'm kind of known for hitting the screen and getting over it whenever I'm playing defense. And I definitely was shying away from contact for the first week, maybe.
So when was your first in-game charge that you took?
It might have been the first game back, UCF, I'm sure.
Wow.
I got hit hard a couple of times in that game. And, everyone kind of holds their breath or my team runs up to me and looks at me. I'm like, get me off the ground, y'all. We just got a charge. Screen, I'm like, come on, what are we doing?
Wait, so you guys practice against the men regularly?
Not our men's team, but our practice squad is guys. So we're going against college men every day.
Interesting. That's cool. I know that basketball was not your first love. Gymnastics, right?
Right. Yes, ma'am.
So how do you go from not caring, if that is the case, if that's true, to it becoming kind of your life's work?
I don't know what I didn't like about it. It's just, I was so used to kind of chilling with my mom. My dad and my brother would go to practice, So whenever I had my mom, it was my dad comes home one day and it's like, hey, I saw a girls basketball team on the way here. Let's try it out. I'm like, for who? You're not a girl. My little brother's not a girl. We're here. So I hated watching it. Because I feel like it made my brother and my dad kind of argue all the time. They were yelling at each other. So I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. I don't need to get yelled at. One thing I don't do is like to get yelled at. So I'm like, Dad, I'm not doing that. So that's really how it happened. And then I started playing, and ever since then, the rest is history. At that point, now I'm having fun with it.
Does Coach Mulkey yell?
Does she yell?
Yeah, but I'm saying, so how does that stack up if you don't like to be yelled at? And she's very much, to me, seems like somebody who's very loose and free with the yell.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
It was definitely growing up with my dad yelling every second. And then I only played with one other coach that didn't yell. His name is Coach Chuck. He coached me most of my life. And he didn't yell at all because he knew me. And he was like, DiDi's so hard on herself. She doesn't need to get yelled at. She knows what she did wrong. But he was the only coach that felt like that after that, because every other coach I was with, they loved to yell. And so it was something that I just came accustomed to. I just got used to it. And being with those coaches before Kim, I feel like they really prepared me, because Coach Mulkey, that's a different kind of beast. You got to really have the right mental to be playing with her.
I could see how that might be. How would you describe, besides yelling, her coaching style?
It was crazy because you wouldn't expect it, but definitely loving. She's super caring. She's yelling at you, yes, but at the same time, she's nurturing you. That was my mom away from home. I love Coach Mulkey. She definitely made it feel like a home whenever I was at Baylor, regardless of her yelling at me most of the time.
It's interesting. She turns elite, highly recruited players into superstars. Yes. Brittany being one, yourself being one. What do you think it is about her that is able to do that?
She goes by this quote. And it's your chief want in life is for someone to make you do what you're capable of doing. And I think she really takes that to heart because, like you said, she has this thing of taking really elite players and making them monsters. So that's really what drew me here was that fact that she has like a spell or something going on because she's so good at developing different players. And I really think it's her want to see everyone succeed and then let alone her ability to compete. She's a super competitive person.
You think she would be good as an NBA coach? You think that would be something that would translate over?
Definitely. I think she's one of those people that they're going to succeed at whatever they do. That's Coach Mulkey. And she's has this, like this talent of being able to get the best out of anybody. And it's been only, a couple transfer, yes, but she has this thing where she can get the best out of you for sure. And I feel like if you want her at a WNBA, in high school, college, wherever you are in the NBA, I feel like that's all you really need to do to be a good coach is to be able to get the best out of someone.
Yeah, she talked about passion. She went on one of our podcasts and talked about how she's able to use her voice to inject passion into her players and get them to, like you said, get the best out of them. Mm-hmm. There are NBA teams that are struggling with passion right now. Right. Boston Celtics being one of them. I think Brad Stevens, we're seeing that he has some issues getting that yelling voice on. Mm-hmm. What do you think would be some potential fits for her in the NBA in terms of teams?
I want her to, me selfishly speaking, to go to LA so I can go visit. I have a crush on Kuzma.
Don't we all, Kuz?
I need her to go there so I can go. So I'm going to say LA selfishly, but I definitely feel like teams like OKC that are kind of just struggling to get over that hump. I think they just need a push. So OKC, and then I was going to say Brooklyn in the last years, but they've recruited well. So I can't wait to see, them keep prospering, when everyone gets healthy. But definitely just teams that are struggling to get over the hump, I would stick a Kim there. Like I would really go get Kim.
Same. Yeah, I think that would be a good fit for sure. You mentioned that you're a Kuzma fan, but you're also a LeBron fan.
Right. I love LeBron.
You said that the reason that Bron is better than Jordan is because his defensive versatility. Obviously, you have quite a bit of defensive versatility. Do you think defense is more important than offense?
I just say like this. If I score 1 point and I hold you to 0, who's going to win the game? Because I feel like you can't score on me. And if I'm playing better defense than you are offensively, then I'm going to win. And so that's why I've always felt like defense makes a huge difference in like a game, especially if you stop them early. Like if you kill their confidence early on defense, they're not going to hit any more shots on you no more. You're going to get a flow because defense leads to offense. I can get a steal and boom, we're going out for a layup. It's just things like that. That's why I've always felt like defense is going to win you games.
Who's the equivalent of you in the NBA?
I hear a lot of different things, actually. I hear like what's his name? I hear Draymond Green.
Woo, I like that.
That's crazy. And when I heard that, and then everyone keeps saying I have potential to be a Magic Johnson. And I'm just like, okay, these are good names I'm hearing.
These are big names, yeah.
But it's definitely people that are going the extra mile or working hard workers that are going to do the little things that aren't really shown on the stat sheet. They love to compare me to people like that, which I understand.
I know that it's beyond your control, but I would be remiss to not ask what places would be great fits for you in the WNBA.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm a more of a chameleon. You could put me anywhere, and I'm gonna get along. I'm gonna figure myself out for sure. But I'd love to be in LA. I just feel like I'm more of a Cali girl. And then I also love watching the Aces. So it would be cool to go to those teams. I like watching those too. I
immediately thought of you and Lambeer together, and I was like, damn, they would be tough.
I've heard that multiple times now. I'm kind of scared that I hope it doesn't go bad. Like, I don't know. Because I've been hearing that a lot. So I'm like, I hope so everyone can see it fit. I can see it fit. I want to go there. So I hope it works out.
And it's close to LA. It's only like a 30, 40 minute flight. So you'd be in and out. You'd be in and out. Dave Portnoy, huge DiDi fan. I rarely ever hear him say how much he loves an athlete.
He DM'd me after the game. I literally almost peed my pants. I'm like, whoa. Well, like, and then he had the nerve to say, I know you don't know me, but I'm like, what? What do you mean I don't know you? Everybody knows you, you know? So it's just crazy. I'm so grateful and thankful. And it's like, I want to be his best friend. Like, he doesn't even know yet.
I think we're going to make that happen. I think that's a great way to end their interview. I will, I'm going to let him know that you're in town. See if we can make a little magic. All right. So give me your info and I'm going to let him know and tell him you're in town.
Okay. Like, how can I, you want me to say it right now?
Yeah, we'll stop the recording.
Okay.
Marty, can you stop the recording? Hold on, let me just close it out. DiDi, thank you so much for joining us. I am so grateful and congratulations on all the continued success. And also, hold on one second. And let me just finish. So I've got like things happening in my ear. DiDi, thank you so much for coming on. It's an honor. Super grateful that you made the time. Congratulations on all the success. And I'm hoping for the Aces or the Sparks.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. So thank you.
Thanks for listening and watching This League on YouTube. If you like this content, please hit the subscribe button right here. More content will come your way straight to your feed. Thanks for watching.